In America, we're shunned for our lifestyle.
Well, we should be celebrating our lifestyle. We are men who still live at home.
Yes.
We're not here to apologize about who we are, how we do it, or who we live with.
No!
I'm looking around this table, hombres, and I see 3 winners. Huh? And to every one of those out there who sees something different, I say bring it on. Because it's going to take a stick of dynamite to get me out of my parents' house. There's a bit of a social phenomenon happening in America, specifically right now, of kids getting older but not necessarily moving out of the house.
More and more these days, people are taking longer to finish college, to settle down and to move out, get their own place, and live as like independent beings.
Basically, I live at home. I live with my family. I'm 32 years old. It's kind of nice to have things taken care of for you. Food on your plate, clothes on your back, and a roof over your head.
As far as living at home, I've lived here my whole life. My mom and my dad have supported what I do. Still living under their rules, of course.
Shut up, dude. Don't help him.
Watch safety.
No, he's going to run. Don't do it. Don't do it. I got you.
Basically, what makes me an adult is moving out of the house. Then I guess I am still a kid. I still have a lot of kid tendencies, do a lot of kid things. I play video games. I do a lot of RC vehicles, things like that.
We had the typical societal view that children go to college and they go off and get a job. But we know that economically, it's hard on 20-somethings or twixters.
Twixter is a funny word. I think it's pretty catch-all for people who don't go right into their career path or their maybe ideal living situation.
There definitely is a trend that's growing of younger people staying at home longer and returning back home after college.
Something that used to be shameful, living with your parents, is no longer shameful.
And I think there's lots of legitimate reasons why men might live at home, you know, past the age of 18 or 22, and probably lots of reasons that are, you know, more related to laziness and comfort and ease.
In some Latin cultures, you stay at home out of respect because you take care of your family. That happens sometimes here in America, but I mean, for the most part, America being a place where, you know, you get out and you be an independent young man or woman and make your way.
It's a conflict because obviously parents love their kids, but not forever. I mean, they do love them forever. They just don't want to live with them forever, usually.
Boy, it's 35 years old.
It's just not fair.
35 years.
We were good parents, and now we're supposed to be done.
Well, our son's a flight attendant. He travels so much it doesn't make any sense to have his own apartment.
Yeah. Plus, he has a lot of pilot friends who let him stay over.
There are a lot of kids who do this kind of thing. Like, I went over to this guy's place a couple of weeks ago. It just struck me how similar it was to exactly the way I lived. Like, kind of funny kid color on the walls.
Part of the trend is a return to kind of our agrarian age in the United States, which is similar to other countries, where people do stay at home longer. There is more connection among the generations.
The biggest advantage for me is I love having my son around. He's fun to be with. He is very bright, brings different perspectives.
The baby boom generation was much more conscious about the role of parenting, much more conscious about relationships in general.
You hear about sort of the baby boom generation being a generation that we read all the books. You know, we have all the, you know, speaking of myself, my bookshelf has a wall this wide of parenting books.
People of this generation, the 20 and 30-year-olds, were raised by the first generation of parents who really had a lot of parent education and were really very invested in their children, much more than previous generations.
My father said in growing up how difficult it was for him to be working and going to college at the same time. He didn't want that to be put on anyone. So he basically said, hey, as long as you want, you can live here.
There was a time that in order to be independent, you had to leave and go off to college. You had to go follow the jobs. But now there are many more options in urban areas.
Because he works in the city and lives in the city several days a week, it's almost the best of both worlds.
He just asked if he can stay overnight. One night turned into 2 and then 3. Now it's a regular thing. I get up and get him his breakfast. I have his dinner ready for him when he comes home. He leaves his wash there. And actually, I don't mind doing these things. It relieves his mother. I really don't mind, and I don't want to say it's a disadvantage, but it's there.
Like I did with my son, I said, okay, I'm going to teach you how to cook. What 5 things do you want to learn? Went in the kitchen, taught him how, gave him a cookbook. He knows how to cook. Taught him how to do his laundry a long time ago.